So it's Sunday night in Cannes. On the beach behind me, a party is in full swing. I'm not really kind of very good at parties. I just wanted to take a moment to reflect on the films that I've seen so far. Many of you have written here on the blog like saying you mentioned Dracula, Italy Trembles, but what did you actually think of it? Well, I liked it very much. I know it was a scathing portrait of a clearly corrupt political system. Some people have compared it to Fahrenheit 9/11. I don't think it's quite in that league. I mean, I've got a lot of problems with Michael Moore's work, but this wasn't quite as comedic, quite as punchy. But I did like it, and it was good to see it in a room in which it clearly divided the audience. That's always quite exciting. The general feeling is that it's been rather a slow start to Cannes. The standout in terms of the Palme d'Or contenders so far is the Mike Leigh film Another Year, which I really enjoyed. And what I liked about it was at the centre of it there's this really strong, very positive portrait of a very supportive couple. It's interesting, I interviewed Mike Leigh today and I asked him whether he thought he was getting more positive as he got older. You know, he recently made A Happy-Go-Lucky. He said no, he thought that was always a part of his work. Well, for me, I really embraced that central theme in Another Year. I like the film very much. I wouldn't be at all surprised if it walks away with a prize. I came out of that and I went into the new Woody Allen film. He's a comparable, a director in terms of age with Mike Leigh. And I really thought that, You Will Meet a Tall Dark Stranger was the director just treading water. I mean, it's the best of his London films, but that's really not saying that much. I mean, there's the occasional laugh in it, and obviously, it's solidly put together, but it's not Manhattan, it's not Annie Hall, it's not Love and Death, it's not Sleeper. It really doesn't feel like he's breaking any new ground, and that's a shame. The big disappointment for me, however, so far, has been Hideo Nakata's film Chatroom, which is a cyber thriller about the evils and dangers of the internet. One critic very scathingly said it was like watching a government information film. I think that's unfair. But it is a lumpen work, a heavy work, a work that feels overawed. It feels like a play, unsurprisingly. And I was disappointed because I like Hideo Nakata so much. But there have been treats. I went to see the Gregg Araki movie, Kaboom, and in the past I found Gregg Araki quite hard to deal with. I find some of his anarchy sort of very pre-packaged, but I really enjoyed Kaboom. It's a tale of sex and drugs and the end of the world, and it was fun, and I laughed, and it was a nice surprise. I suppose the quirkiest thing I've seen so far is a film there's a little bit of a buzz about, which is called Rubber. And you remember that movie Christine, which is about a possessed car that kills people? Well, Rubber is about a possessed car tyre that kills people. It kills them by causing their heads to explode. There's a bit of a cult buzz in it. They've been giving out promotional items like, for example, this. It's not a box of matches, you do the maths. The other stuff that I've seen that I've enjoyed, the Korean movie, as I said, Housemaid, which is a remake of a 60s film which I hadn't seen before. That was a bit of a guilty pleasure. It was kind of sleazy and twisted and corrupt in all the right ways. I don't think it has massive international appeal, but I did enjoy it. The stuff I'm looking forward to, the Doug Liman film, Fair Game, there's quite a lot of buzz about that. As you know, there's a Ken Loach movie which was a late entry into Cannes. That's still got to come, and I'm definitely looking forward to that. And of course, there's a lot of buzz about the new movie by Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu, although I have to say personally, I'm very sceptical about his film because I really didn't like Babel at all. But so that's the score so far. For me, the standout has been the Mike Leigh movie. Will anything top it? Well, if Cannes, is anything you can rely on, it's that there's always surprises. The movie that will come out and win the Palme d'Or is always the thing you least expected. But as I said, that's the score so far. Speak to you tomorrow.